Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Mental. That is right, my friends. Once again, I have returned to you. This time with another motherfucking fragrance live stream. There is exactly no one here. I have the place to myself. Excellent. I can say whatever I want. And I quite possibly will. Good evening, Lord Charles. It is just ye and me. Thee and me, even. Mike V, how are you? Germs, what's up? I've been on a mission today, friends. I have been on a mission. Oh. Oh, you fucker. Sam, Toronto, how are you? You are here. I am here. We are here. It is all good. I am glad we're all here. Welcome, Waffle. Please tell me how you are. Please tell me what is up. Oh dear. Okay. What we got? Lord Charles is wearing a dialectic ski. I saw that, Noah. What was that? Of course, if you're into liking streams, my friends, please feel free. I would appreciate it greatly. It's fucking warm in here. I've had quite a busy day. Got up, had a shower, which is painful. Went and got something to eat, and then went to the museum. That's right, I went to the museum, friends. How fun. It was good. My glasses are steaming up because I'm sweating like a granny's fanny on bingo night. Welcome, Herb. Anyone on Soul Batik by Moresque? Never heard of it. Never even heard of it. What could it be? Could it be a perfume? No doubt. Herb is wearing a vintage crystal, which I have up there. I intend to wear some of that shit. Yes, please. Oh. Oh. I might put a link to the Discord in my what's it called? In my chat, if people would like to join. There is my scent of the day. Carl ordered some Zaharoff samples. Bored not finding anything interesting anymore. Yeah, we've reached like this kind of nadir, you know. Mitch, would you ever reveal the original Les Abstraits names? Says Lord Charles. No. God, no, of course not. What the fuck? It's not for me to do. It's not my information to give away, that. Sorry. What was your favourite part of the museum? Did you buy the samurai armour? No, I'm not sure you're allowed to buy the samurai armour, to be fair. Yeah, James has put a link to the Discord in. Yeah, so if you'd like to join the Discord, friends, please do. It's been distinctly quiet in there recently. Uploaded some pictures of my trip to the museum, the Great North Museum, it's called, the Hancock Museum. I'm planning on baking a seafood pizza later. Sounds dodgy, I know, but we'll see how it goes. Yikes. I thought I had nothing else to buy. Then I saw a rare Hermes. I mean, how rare is it? I mean, don't get us wrong. If something particularly rare that I can't actually think of off the top of my head came about, you know, like a vintage bottle of something that I love, or some shit. Like, but I literally can't think of anything to buy. Welcome, DJ. The silver bottle to the Hermes. I want that shit. The Hancock Museum. There were both hands and cocks on display. There was a dead person there, a mummy from Egypt. There was a sign, and it was like, "Please be respectful. This is like a real person's human remains." And I was like, "Hang on a minute, what the fuck are you talking about? Please be respectful. This is a real person's human remains. You put them on fucking display. Fucking be respectful. Take them off fucking display." Pavarotti came up for €20. Too much? Pervert. It's worth 10 times that. New Tour de Hermes EDP Intense. How about it? How about it? Don't know. Haven't smelled it. Haven't smelled it. I was at Harrods today and they don't have Hermes in there. I'll have to go to Phoenix to see it. Fenwicks. So, it is out there, friend. Why is it so dark? Why is it so dark? It's poorly lit, I can tell you. Fuck that. Have a bit more light. Shithouse. Fenwicks, Arizona. Stick to EDT, classic for a reason, says Spaced Out. And they have a big collection of Beatles too. Although this is from many years ago, says Herb. They did a dinosaur display. They did a dinosaur display years ago and I missed it. And I was sad about that. Because I like dinosaurs, but... I went to a samurai museum in Tokyo. It's crazy. The Emperor's Palace. Japan was very advanced thousands of years ago. Yeah, loads of that part of Asia. That part of Asia, you know, because it's very fertile. It's like same with China. Like Chinese have been keeping records, not just writing things down, but keeping records for over 3,000 years. You know, like the history of Chinese civilization is outrageous, and obviously Japan's like everything around there is like an offshoot of Chinese. You know, China's like the big central hub of Asian culture, East Asian culture, anyway. Japan is still advanced. Their douches have dryers. That's cheers for that. Oh, Mitch, I was at Harrods today as well. What perfumes did you smell? I didn't smell any because they're all shit. Actually, I smelled the green Irish tweed. There's an amberwood that's snuck in there for some reason. The fuck knows why. But everything in that mall smelled of amberwood. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Everything smelled of amberwood in there. It was a fucking disaster. Like, I walked out and I could still smell it when I was outside in the fresh air. I was like, what the fuck is going on? A massive assault. That's just what it felt like. It was an absolutely massive assault. The very first I'm almost bought Ombre Nomad sample, but I stopped myself. Well, I mean, sample it, by all means, you might like it. Just don't blind buy it, for God's sake. Don't blind buy anything. Fragrance market has slowed down massively. I've got like 40 things up for sale on, I've got 40 things up for sale on eBay, and they're not going anywhere quickly. I'm selling my Patchouli Imperial, got a 450ml Patchouli Imperial. I'm trying to sell it. No one's buying. Very vintage as well. Oh no. Oh, Paco Rabanne, great vintage fragrance. Says Amre, the new version isn't. This is the new version, isn't it, Professor? It is not. No, actually, this is a 2000s version. Early 2000s, I believe. Maybe even late 90s. I think it's a very similar bottle these days, but I've got much earlier versions of this. I've got so much of this shit. I've got so much of it. It's so good though. Fuck. It's so good. Ah, the lavender in it. Incredible. Like soapy, cedar, woody lavender thing. Ah, it's immense. I just found an official sample of CK Euphoria Men. It smells good but cheap, something plasticky. Yeah, there's bits of plastic lurking within our perfumes at the minute, friends. It's not great. Welcome, Laura G. You inspired me to go to the museum, and I did. And took lots of pictures and saw a couple of friendly horses on the way home. St. Francesca Bianchi Discovery Set been calling my name, says Darius. Welcome, Darius. Can you hear me? Fuck. This microphone's doing bits. It's doing its own thing. There we go. LVs. I tried 2 LVs and they were designerish, 100%. The price is outrageous. Welcome. Oh, yes. It's a fun museum. It is. I saw seals. I saw a dead body. I saw samurai stuff. I saw loads of things. Prodip says, I am very excited for Kirky. No, stop that. I will read you the blurb for Kirky, friends. I will read you it. You should do a flanker called Alba Kirky. All. I think it'd have a first version off me, don't you, Mitch? What of what, mate? What of? Did you visit the planetarium? No, I didn't. He saw a willy. Did you visit the gift store? Yes, I saw seals. And I saw a squid and a shark. Saw a shark. Did you suggest a new version of this fragrance? No, not the new one. You need the old version of Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. I've been wearing a Fleur de Cassis quite a bit recently. Skanky. I need to find Kirky. Kirky by Maison Francis Kirkjohn is a radiant eau de parfum, capturing the irresistible allure of tutti frutti candy. Wrapped in a velvety embrace of white musk. Shock. This scent evokes the creamy warmth of vanilla and musk. Shock. Creating a delightful gourmand experience. Shock. Inspired by the pure joy of life and the freedom of imagination, Kirky awakens your inner child pervert, inviting you to rediscover the lightness of carefree moments. More than just a fragrance, it is a luminous shock, burst of happiness, a sunbeam for the soul. Let its enchanting aroma transport you to a world of fantasy, pervert, where each day is infused with luxury and playful sophistication. Absolute tomfoolery, foul baboonery, and tomfoolery. Absolute horse manure. To be fair, I'd rather smell of horse manure a la paddock. But, yes, they should have called it Willy Wonka, that's right. Where did you go, Rich? I went to a museum, mate. I will show you. I'm looking at my gold ear too, thinking it's fetching crazy prices on eBay. Yeah, I sold mine as well. It's a little bit Kirkjohn. When you smell it, it smells just like a Kirkjohn perfume smells. It's got that big, musky, airy, synthetic, not plasticky, but not far off. There's a T-Rex there. Yes, I saw it. It was scary. There's a big moose. Did you see the moose? It's an extinct moose. Its antlers were almost as big as its body. I was frightened. I was very scared. I thought, don't charge me even though you're a skeleton. I'll show you. Look. Can you see? The size of its bloody antlers. There's a head with one antler missing. So it obviously came off a little bit worse. Also, some sort of thing going on with its mush there. There it is again. That's a different one, by the way. Look at the size of it. Huge. Towered over us. Absolutely mental. There was a dodgy fish. Oh. Baymax is in the bath. Oh no. Water. Cat in the bath. Let me see. There were some stones from Hadrian's Wall, if anybody's interested. These came off. And that's how they transferred wine around. I don't know what they're doing there, but it looks jolly. There's a Roman soldier with some armor. Someone's head. Explanation of head. And Tenositicus. He was a local god adopted by the soldiers stationed at Benwell Fort. Giving gods a human form was a Roman practice and was rare in pre-Roman Britain. Statue head. Found at the temple near Benwell Fort. There's some steel ore. Where'd you come from? Where is it? Steel ore, Galena. Probably North Pennines. There is some quartz. Look at the quartz. That is dead cool. I looked at that and thought, that is so cool. That is some iron ore. There's a little cheeky little dinosaur. There's a cheeky lizard. There's a real dinosaur. Ruh. There's another cheeky dinosaur. Doesn't look very impressed. Doesn't want us taking a picture, but it was in a public place, so I'm allowed to. There he is there. There's someone's head. Packed lunch area, but I didn't have a packed lunch. But I did, but I actually ate it before I went in. There's someone's eyes. There's someone's final resting place. There is someone. That is like genuine. That is genuine human body, that. So gross. I am back. People said to have a standoff with me in the bath. I see. There is some. I'm pretty sure that's replica. It's not like real gold, that. You know? Sheep. Cow. More cow. Squirrel. There he is. Samurai. That is a head on a stick. I don't think it's a real head. I think it was carved because, like, it's part of this longer stick. Can you see there? Like that there in the middle. Like, it was part of that. Good old weapons there. There's someone's foot. Just this massive hoof. It was just a giant hoof in the museum. I was like, pfft. Some hats. Is that samurai wearing Air Jordans? He was certainly wearing. There's a seal. Oh, looking pretty stupid. Looking pretty spaced, this one. Someone drew a seal. There's the seal toys. Oh my God. I took this video. This is unbelievable, right? Have a look at this. Encre Noir at retail. I have never I have never seen Encre Noir available at retail. I have never seen Encre Noir on the shelves in my life, ever. Only ever seen it online. Wild. And it was right next to the Xerjoffs, and it was above the Xerjoffs, where it deserves to be, because it's considerably better than anything Xerjoffs ever made. Encre Noir deserves that spotlight, certainly does. Don't give that quotes to the wrong person, they will stick it up their arse and end up as an A&E story. Good lord. True, says Satu. Probably retail for $200. I think it's about $120 the last time I remembered. Is Encre Noir better than Sycamore? No, but the price proposition, like the value proposition, like the value you get from Encre Noir is considerably better than Sycamore. Still haven't smelled Encre Indigo. That's not good on me. Yeah, I want to smell that as well. Last days till I switch to the Sport. Yes, I've got the Sport lurking in here somewhere. It's a tremendous fragrance. Where are you, Sport? It's in here somewhere. I don't know where I've put it, to be honest. Should really be at the front, like. Still, I enjoy your museum content. I'm glad you did not WhatsApp me all of this. It would be much. Well, I was going to. I thought about it, but then I forgot. My Encre Extreme was $25. Yeah, same as it was 25 quid. That's how much that... I mean, it's probably the best value fragrance you can get. There is no better perfume, like, value at all. That is truly the most perfume for the money. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Want to zoom in on the Encre Noir, Rich? You missed your calling, buddy. Jared. I was like, I definitely want people to say, I definitely want people to see that Encre Noir is better than Xerjoff. It's above Xerjoff. It's worth more than any Xerjoff. Like, the reason people buy Xerjoffs is because they're so expensive and they want to flex. This is a theory I have, right? And the more time passes, the more I'm convinced I'm right. I don't see any evidence to the contrary, or scant evidence to the contrary. People buy bottles of perfume now. They don't buy the perfumes themselves. People buy bottles. People want the bottle so that they can show it off online or they can look at it and hold it. They do not want the perfume that's inside. It's as simple as that. And every time I see stuff online, people send me links to Instagram even though I haven't got it all the time because it's so common to them. It's like of course I'm sending you Instagram pictures because obviously that's just what you do. But I haven't got Instagram. But almost all of them, you get a preview, and almost all of them are showing pictures of bottles of perfume, right? And if you think about it, they're showing the bottle of perfume. They very rarely describe the smell. And the perfume, the bottle, the whole thing is a way of saying something without talking. It's an indication. And I do this. Like I'm saying, I'm going to enjoy my bath. Sans Baymax. Okay. If he starts singing, would you send me a video of it? Of the singing, not you in the bath. Baymax has been singing. No, it wasn't. It was Lion. The lion was singing. He was going, wow. And I was like, God, he's purring like a walrus. I work opposite this museum and had my lunch there yesterday as it was too cold for a walk. Natalie Lawson is the queen of male perfumes. Prodeep says, is Bentley for Men Intense forgotten now? Sebastian has like 40 bottles. He's hoping that if nobody talks about it for a while, then the price of it will go up. I recently got a sample of Xerjoff 1888. I didn't like it. It reminded me of Sweeter Luton Cedra. Cedra, I don't like Cedra. I sold my Cedra. Too harsh. Too tuberosy. But the bottles aren't even that artistic. So it's not the point. It's not the point. It's about the whole thing these days, right, is about buying into a brand. Tell you who else does this really well? Rolex. Rolex watch brands do it really, really well. You buy into the brand and the branding, right? Rolex are the masters of it. Patek Philippe are masters of it. Audemars Piguet to a lesser extent. Who else does it? Hermes do it. Chanel are masters of it. They used to be before their actual stuff that they put out turned to shit. JLC is a brilliant watch brand, but they don't have any kind of brand recognition at all. Vacheron don't have brand recognition, only among watch collectors. FP Jean do, yes. Langenzunner do. It's all about the branding, and that's why people buy the bottles. There is no way I would say this lid here. You see this lid, right? This is the one Eugene sent us. I would never sell it because Eugene sent us it. He gave us it for nothing, right? And I love it. There is absolutely no way, even if I kept the bottle, even if you know me, right, and you knew this was the vintage version, nobody would buy it because they want the bottle. They want the bottle. They want the bottle more than they want the juice. Obviously, the juice has got to be in it because of the way that it looks. It's like, I bought this juice with the bottle, but it's the bottle that matters. I'm telling you. I need to flesh this theory out, but I think I'm going to do a video on it. And it's true of almost, you can extrapolate this out to almost anything now. You are buying into the brand. And this is the reason we live in the age of advertising. That's why adverts are fucking everywhere. And to escape them, you have to pay money. You have to pay money through subscriptions to escape them. But I tell you, once most people have got subscriptions to things, they're going to start reintroducing adverts even though you've got subscriptions. You can buy You or Someone Like You for a quarter of Torino 21, and it's twice the fragrance as well. So you're actually 8 times better off and licked. And welcome to you. I hope you are well. At the same time, many on YouTube make videos and talk for 15 minutes and say absolutely nothing of value and just don't say what's already been said before. That's true as well. That's true as well. YouTube has been bastardized in that way. It didn't used to be like that. You and I and other people who have been around for long enough remember when people used to go on YouTube and talk about fragrances and give insights into them that other people hadn't had before. And basically what's happened is YouTube's been bastardized, as have these other social media outlets, right, into being marketing vehicles, you know? And the thing is that then you have to pay for access to that through either subscriptions or adverts. So if you watch a Red Essence infomercial or an Erica infomercial or a fucking any of these other Jeremy, you know, any of these other people, right? And they've got adverts on their videos and they're being paid to make these videos. You're getting adverts on your adverts. You're watching an infomercial. It's like QVC. QVC never used to have adverts on because they were being paid to advertise things, right? On YouTube, they've doubled down. On YouTube, they've doubled down. They're putting adverts on their adverts. It's mental. It's fucked. It's absolutely fucked, and people are buying into it every single day. The goal of ads is that they stick in your head. Yes. Have you tried the Rolex branded fragrance duck? I'd rather shit in my hands and clap. It'll be appalling. Although I have tried the Omega one, and it was made by Alberto Marias, and it smelled like an Alberto Marias. It wasn't hateful. It just smelled like an early to mid-90s fresh aquatic, right? And it was passable. Didn't have amber wood in it, but it did have cologne. And it was fine. It was fine, but it smelled like an Alberto Marias. Oh, the boobsicle isn't legit. Shock. Scored a more than half full 50ml amber, Prada Amber Pour On Intense for 34 pounds, says Mr. S. The caption had it as an empty bottle, but at the end he'd put 60 to 70% full. Guess nobody read the lot. Nobody ever does, mate. Nobody ever does. That's how, what do they always say? They get you on the small print. It can work both ways. I do love a good bottle. I like looking at them pretty on my shelf, says Nina. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. But what I'm saying is these people need to be aware that that's what's happening. That's what they're doing. You know? That is what I'm doing. That's what you're doing. That's what we are doing, and that is what they are doing. You know, that is what's happening. You know? Look at this setup, what I've got right now. What are you doing? What are you looking at? You're not looking at me. You're looking at the perfumes. And if you remember, when I've explained before, what did I say? I have a little bit of bottle porn and me just talking about perfumes. That's not the only reason I've got them there like that, you know. It's like I have some of my own reasons for why I don't point the camera at myself. I don't want to get in like a tale of woe and misery and stuff like that, but like if you think about it, almost all the channels when they're talking about things have always got something. They've got bottles in frame. You know, they've got bottles in frame. Is there any point? Part of this that hammered this home to me was I wanted to review something, right? I think it was vintage Mitsuko, which I've got in a bottle like this because the bottle came broken and Nuj gave us vintage Mitsuko for free. God bless him. But I was going to review it in one of these, right? And I thought, I can't do that. I just can't do it. Because it's not complete. It's not finished. It's not right. It's not right. It's not... There's something wrong. There's something missing. It's not there. It's not normal. It's not right. It's not the way it should be. Having bottles in frame also gives some people some sort of suggestion of legitimacy, like, this person has many expensive perfumes. They must know something about the topic. Yes, that's true. That's absolutely true. You know? People with their collection behind them, in front of them, around them, in the hands. All of that sort of thing. Darius Ellis says, I will definitely not buy without the box. Need to protect the fragrance. So here's a question. Here's a point to counter that. Say if you bought a fragrance with a box, but the fragrance hadn't been kept in the box. But you got it with the box. You know? My perfumes stay in this cupboard, and the lid goes back up as soon as these streams are over. That goes back shut. That is shut again. You know. So these are in a big box altogether, essentially. But I'm not taking them out of a box every time I want to use them. A whole apartment like Sebastian. Yeah, he's fully gone after it, like, to be fair. I throw the box out as soon as I open the frag, says Mike. Yeah, basically, yes. I buy low fill bottles all the time. The more I can get my nose on stuff, the better, says Landon. Yeah. Don't buy full bottles at retail for blind, especially not blind. Jesus Christ. If the seller told me he did not protect the fragrance, then I wouldn't buy. Yes, that's different from having it in the box, though. I protect all my fragrances that aren't in front of you. So all my backups and everything are kept in a box, one box or another. Not necessarily the box it came with, but they're all put in a box in my other bedroom, which is never heated, right? And they are kept in a cupboard. So they're boxed in a cupboard in a north-facing bedroom, and I live in the Northern Hemisphere, right? In a north-facing bedroom, which gets no sun, right? And they are kept basically in storage conditions. Those ones. These ones in front of you, the ones I use, are kept in the bedroom in a wooden bureau, which is wooden's definitely the best way to go because it's breathable, doesn't make them sweat or clam up or anything like that. But it also regulates and keeps the temperature down and stops it from getting too high, stops it from getting too low. It's good for that. Vauxhall Gym. For some reason, I keep my Tom Fords in a box, but no others. No logic to that, I know. Welcome, Eugene. Yes, buddy. How are you? Hoping me and Eugene will get the stream of dark fragrances. We're going to do top 10 dark fragrances on Friday on his channel. We will do top 10. It will be interesting. I am smelling Balam. I need to finish that. Look, it's really low before it starts to go. Does anyone here like Death Grips? I've been listening to their stuff recently. There's nothing like it. The front man sounds legit scary. Never heard of it. Keep my fragrances in a wooden box where time and space don't exist. Narnia. Why do you store your fragrances out of the bottle like a desk, says Darius? It's like a bureau. Like what you see in front of you is like a bureau. This is like a shelf, right? So you can see here, right? And then you can see there, and a shut lid, and the sun never shines on it. And I literally only open it when I'm looking to get a perfume out for reference or put a perfume on, wear a perfume, smell a perfume, all that, or when I'm streaming, you know. All the other ones are in a drawer, or they are in that Jules needs some loving. Jules is away until autumn. It is away until autumn. Oh, okay, like a vanity. Kind of. Think of it like a bureau. You know, it's I've repurposed a bureau, essentially. So that's how I store mine. Well, this is open and shut when I'm like getting perfumes out, or I'm gonna do a video. All my videos are set here like this, and I put the perfumes down in front of the camera and talk about them. Just so you can focus on the perfume and the words, you know? I kind of feel like when somebody's on screen, you're focusing on the person. Like you're buying into that person rather than buying into the perfume or you're not buying into the smell or the idea. You're buying into the person who's selling you it, and that's how salesmen work, you know? It didn't used to be like this. You used to just have people talking and like all of that sort of thing. Where am I? Dude, I'm from America. I have no idea what that is. A bureau. Look it up. Hold on. I will put it there. There's the name in the chat. Richard, I've been meaning to ask your opinion on Vetiver fragrances, especially older Creed OG Vetiver versus vintage Guerlain Vetiver. You mean original Vetiver by Creed? Both brilliant. Both brilliant. Vintage Vetiver by Creed and vintage vintage original Vetiver by Creed and vintage right, let me start again. Vintage Vetiver by Guerlain and vintage original Vetiver by Creed are both brilliant. You will get Vetiver by Creed, the vintage one, much cheaper than you'll get the OG. But the Creed one smells like a niche version of Mugler cologne. That's what it smells like. It's lovely, but that's what it smells like. Yes, two good Vetivers, but I can't pick one. Pick the one you prefer the most. They're an addicting band for sure. Hope something new, but I'm not holding out for it, says Carl. I prefer Creed Original Vetiver by far. My dad used to wear Creed Vetiver decades ago. The accent covered it up, says Landon Hoffman. He's since switched to Encre Noir. Good fragrance. Top fragrance, that. Love Encre Noir. Had a genuine quandary as to what to wear today. I was shook. I thought, what am I going to wear? Took ages, and then I eventually settled on Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, which is just a sensational fragrance. So many different ones to choose from. What I did do, though, earlier this week on Monday, I wore Cardinal by Creed. I wore my vintage Cardinal by Creed. This is not a spring fragrance, friends. This is an autumn fragrance. I dropped a bollock. I'm gonna after Sunday's fragrance rotation. I'm gonna have to put this back in the autumn and winter section, I'm afraid. Oh, it's so good though, Jesus. He said the Creed Original Vetiver smelled like another perfume. Did anyone crotch it? Mugler Cologne. Mugler Cologne. You'll spend a lot of money on that as well. You want the vintage if possible. Original Vetiver was outstanding in a no-brainer kind of way. Wear it to death in the office. Yes, exactly. Jonah Whip. What do you think of Serge Duton's Serge Noir? A black suit fragrance? If ever there was one, in my opinion. Is that Serge Noir, the clove one? That is so staunch. It's so potently clove. It's not my thing whatsoever. You know? It's not my thing whatsoever. So strong. Something inside so strong. I've heard that's a scroll. Mugler Cologne also made by Marias. It is the clove one. I love it. It smells like a pile of wood shavings. It's not for me. I do not like it. I own a modern bottle of Guerlain Vetiver, and while I haven't tried the original from 50, I must say it's currently available. Vetivers go. It's a lovely, especially for the 100ml. Especially for €50 per 100ml. My favourite, I've actually got a video comparing different versions of Vetiver by Guerlain if you want to watch that. This is my favourite one. This is my favourite one. I find it the most wearable. Oh, it's just so good. The horror of being indecisive on what to wear, getting nightmares just thinking about it, says Pat. Yes, it is a little bit like nightmare fuel, isn't it? It is a little bit. It is, yeah. Yeah, it's difficult, that one, isn't it? But yes, I wore Cardinal on Monday, and Cardinal is not a spring fragrance, friends. It's not a spring fragrance at all. That bottle is a beauty. Yes, if you can find that one, try and get that one. It's absolutely outstanding. It's my favourite one by far. Have you smelt Mon Vetiver by Essential Parfums? No. No, I haven't. I think Essential Parfums are a clone brand, or are they an influencer brand? I love the feeling of putting on citrus vetiver on a warm, sunny day. I smelled Mon Vetiver. I thought it was just okay, says Often Licked. I've been picking the frag the night before recently, says Mike. I don't know. So I do that sometimes, right? I do that sometimes, but very rarely, right? When I do it, I'm fine with it. When I don't do it, the idea of it terrifies us, because it's like, what if you change your mind on the morning? What if you change your mind the next day? I'll tell you something, I'm dying to wear this. I'm dying to wear this. Absolutely immense. This is the 27. I've actually just put a couple of bottles of this up for sale. I've got a big 200ml I'm selling. I've got a big 200ml unit that I'm selling. Look at it. Look at this absolute unit. Where the hell did this come from? Was it here? Pretty sure it was. It's the only place it could go. Look at it. This monster. This big beast. Massive. The bottle design is one of the best ever. One of the best looking bottles. Yes, it is. It's tremendous. I've been dumb reaching for a low fill Dior Homme original with a broken spray. I got my hands on. The cocoa is so good. And Dior and Parfum at night for the rose. Why is that loser standing in the middle, says Lost Sense? That's appalling. Essential Parfums is niche fragrances on a budget. All the big perfumers, Ropian, Filippo, etc. made a bottle by the brand. For some reason, I have some kind of prejudice about that brand in my head. I think they're an influencer brand, aren't they? There's a 1 litre size. Imagine. I recommend the Essential Parfums Discovery Set for beginners. It's €24 for 10. That's quite good value. Not groundbreaking, but a good introduction into niche, I would say. I would say niche is just descending into where designer used to be. Niche designer perfumes are here to stay. I need to do something at 0.8. Yeah, let me out. Okay, I've got the box for this. Oh, I've got so much of this. I'm selling me vintage Timbuktu as well. Shite. I heard some rumours they discontinued Jiggy. Yeah, I heard that as well. I can't believe they've done that. That's mental. So I just got Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum 2017, and I'm not that impressed. I favour Dior Eau Sauvage Extreme more. That's fair enough. That's 2017, correct? Yes. Yes, I'm not selling my 2012s. I have still got a couple of bottles of this, by the way. I thought they discontinued this. This is why I bought these as backups, you know. That is an absolute fucking unit. Look at the fucking size of that. I have to get this one day, says Emily. Try to get your nose on the new Zaharoff Pour-Homme Extreme. Darker and glorious. I like the original, to be fair. I've said this many times. Bought my bottle. Happy to report it's a very good fragrance. Signature Pour-Homme. It's fantastic. You're only selling in the UK. I only can. That's the only place. Unless if you know someone in the UK who will take possession of it for you until they can get it to you. That's the only place I can. I cannot ship outside the UK. It is simply illegal. The 200ml is a 2019 bottle, so that's before the Lily Aldi formulations. Both 2017 and 2012, I go back and forth between which one I like. Yes, I do as well, I must admit. At the minute, I'm liking the 2012, but I do really enjoy this one. I think this one's more spring. I think this one's more spring and summer, whereas the other one's more autumn and winter, because the myrrh, you know. But I really like the Alamy, to be fair. Landon says, I don't understand Eau Sauvage Parfum. Which season would you wear Eau Sauvage Parfum? I've just said, to be fair. Both fantastic. Yes, both absolutely fantastic. There's nothing wrong with them. I have it, I just don't get the vibe. That's fair enough. You don't have to. Could be going to wear the malls. Any suggestions for LV? Yes, don't bother. All wildly overpriced. Again, that harkens back to what I was saying before. People are just buying the brand at that point. You know, it's a marketing exercise. Those perfumes are shit. That entire line is wildly overpriced. And people are just doing it so they can say they've got LV something, you know. It's the entry level to LV. I wonder how long Dior kill it. We'll keep it in the collection, says Pradeep. As long as it keeps selling, I would suspect. Vintage Eau Sauvage is great. In hot weather, really surprising. Yes, vintage Eau Sauvage is fantastic in the hot weather. Is the new Musc Ravageur worth it? Pass. Wouldn't have thought so. I don't think the old one's worth it, to be honest. I like Imagination, actually, says Justice Doe. Which I recommend trying Arquiste EL. Best modern old school scent I've tried. I do want to try the Arquistes, I must admit. Daria says, I heard LV Imagination is good and Pacific Chill. Mate, you will hear consistently from people that they are good, even though they aren't. You know? People spruiking those LV perfumes, even though they're shit. They're buying the brand. So they can say, I've got Louis Vuitton perfume. So, why did you buy those? They're crap. Same with Xerjoff. I've got Xerjoff perfumes. They're really expensive. Yeah, but they're crap. They're Veblen goods. It's marketing. You know? Going for the whole aspirational thing. Imagination is good, just severely overpriced, says James. Is this a new Paco Rabanne or vintage? This is the vintage. This is a 2025 bottle. No, sorry, that's a lie. This is 20 to 25 years old. It's not a 2025 bottle. So this is early 2000s, late 90s. This is that formula. I've got older formulas as well. I've got a lot of vintage Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. Far too much, really. What's the best tuberose fragrance? Trick question, they're all shit. I disagree, yeah, it's overpriced. Imagination is good. One of the best clean scents is Justice Doe. Ombre Nomad is good, to be honest, Mitch, says Lord Charles. No! Louis de Feur is good, mate, says Lord Charles. No! All bad. The man Cologne says, I'm just stopping by to say this game is so different from the past, but don't worry, the end is near, says the man Cologne. The end is nigh. The end is nigh, friends. Only tried the new Eau Sauvage. It's alright, but a bit synthetic. Yeah, it might be. I wonder if the new Neil Vermeer tuberose is on par with Carmel Flower, says Carl. Welcome to man. I hope you are well. Mitch hates 90% of everything. Wrong. I hate much more than 90% of everything. I find a lot, and in fact, I find almost all new perfume contemptible. I feel patronised by new releases. I feel patronised by the prices. I feel patronised by the smells. I feel patronised by the marketing. I feel patronised by influencers. I feel patronised by the whole fucking thing. Everything about the space we inhabit at the minute is extremely patronising. They are taking the piss out of you. They are laughing at you as you hand over your money. It's almost like the brands can barely keep a straight fucking face. Look at the marketing. Look at the fucking bottles. The colours they're using. Look at everything. It's shit. LV, the Mincete is my fave. Nice ginger frag, says Mark. LV isn't worth the money. It's true, they are laughing at us. LV doesn't even send bottles except for maybe sample is. Would Mouchoir de Monsieur by Guerlain still be worth picking up? If you can find it. I don't even think it's available anymore. They discontinued it. 99% is bullshit. The prices are insane. Yeah. You're not getting your money's worth. Like in materials, in creativity, especially not in creativity. Everything smells the same all the time. All the perfumes smell the same all the time. There are maybe even single digits brands that are putting out stuff even worth testing. It's obscene. There is a reason why the likes of IFF and Givaudan and Simrise and Isipsa got raided. You know, all those houses got raided because they're a cartel, and the reason the prices are so high is because of their activities as a cartel. They allegedly have conspired to keep the prices up, and you're fucking paying for it. People who are buying these fucking perfumes are paying for it. And then you've got these fucking influencers who have sold their soul to brands like fucking Armoff, right? And fucking like Middle Eastern clone brands and all that shit, right? For what? Couple of grand? Go on their channels and talk shit, say things that they don't believe. You can tell, just look at them. Just look at them. Use your human fucking faculties. Look at these people. They're fucking lying to themselves. Never mind you. It's quite a thing to behold, actually, but this is the world we live in at the minute. It's like some kind of fucking cyber dystopia. Is there a writer's block equivalent for perfumers? Good question, that. Probably. Imagination is nice, but it's too expensive. It's huge in Paradisone, Ambrox and Musk. That's why it lasts so long. I wish designer brand would release a bubblegummy fragrance already, for fuck's sake, says Mike. I only look at vintage releases, says Lost Sense. I'm snatching up affordable Serge, Eldo and Lalique while I can, says Often Licked. Lord Charles says, Mitch, so far I've just bought Chanel and the old girl ones. I don't care about the prices and the interest and excite me just fine. Sound. I mean, to be fair, it's your money. You do with what you want. But the problem is, things aren't going to get better as long as you're rewarding them with money. I like a brand that can sell bottles at a reasonable rate, or they sell 15ml bottles. In my opinion, if they can't do these things, I question their ethics. There are no ethics. They sold their soul for money. They sold their ass. It's so sad they're gays, folks, says the man cologne. Evening scent of the day, cologne officinal. That's an exceptional perfume. I love it. That's another thing as well. You've got brands like James Healy who releases absolutely sensational stuff. I don't like all of it. It's not something I would wear or buy. But stuff like Cologne Officinale, right? Cologne Officinal, I'll put this away. All right? Cologne Officinal, which is available now, right? You can go out and buy it at retail, right? Cardinal, Montfresh, right? These three fragrances couldn't smell more different from everything else that's out on the market at the minute, right? 130 quid, 140 quid for 100 mil. It's incredible value. They're brilliant perfumes. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, there's a lot from this house that I just wouldn't buy. I mean, I did the whole house, sampled the whole house, and the only new one I bought was this Cardinal, and I got a vintage one. Right? I got this. I love this. I love the incense resin kind of vibe of this, right? I've loved this for a long time, Montfresh, right? Look at the dent I've put in that. I've worn that, by the way. I don't know if you can see it. It's about half full. No, well, I tell you what, there's about 55 mil left in that. There's Cologne Officinal. This was my second favourite pickup of 2023. 2023, I want to say. Fuck knows what I've been doing with the bottle, like. I've been scratching at it by the look of it. Looks like a scratching post, but look at the dent I've put in that already. The thing is, I don't give a fuck about the size of the dent. I don't give a fuck about the size of the dent because it's fucking 130 quid for 100 mil. It smells exceptional. And the thing is, when I smell brands like that, making perfumes like that, right, for that price, and then I smell a brand like Frederick Malle making things like Acne Studios for twice the fucking price, and I smell a brand like LV making that fucking horrible, fucking shitty, familiar, synthetic raft of perfumes that they released like 7 or 8 all at once to start the brand off. Right? Just industrial perfume, trying to tell you it's luxury. We can equate it to Rolex as well. Rolex, a masterpiece of fucking advertising. A masterpiece of advertising. Rolex makes 1.2 million watches a year. There's nothing exclusive about that. Nothing. It's industrial progress. It's industrial process. And it's the same with these fucking brands. These big brands. People trying to tell me that LV or a luxury brand in any form whatsoever, it's a masterpiece of marketing. It's bullshit. And I don't like marketing. I don't like adverts. You know? It's bullshit. Lost senses, you're so negative. It's not negativity. I just don't like being patronized. Rolex is quality, though. The thing is with Rolex, right? Do you want to know the God's honest truth? Rolex are a mid-tier watch brand. Rolex are a mid-tier watch brand. They make good watches, right? They make good watches, right? Very robust, well made, right? They've got a timeless style, and the rest is just storytelling. It's advertising, it's marketing, it's false exclusivity, it's Veblen goods, high prices. It's very interesting insight into how humans work. Rich, have you actually tried? Yeah, of course I have. I've tried them all. They're all shit. If I didn't think they were shit, I would have bought some. I've got much more expensive fragrances. If this was last week, I could have showed you The Night by Frederick Malle. It's £1,200 fragrance. You know what I'm saying? I could have showed you a £1,200 fragrance. I've got a 200ml bottle of Derby by Guerlain, the original. Could have showed you that. I bought that because I liked it. If I liked those LV fragrances, I would have bought them. But I don't, so I haven't. It's like the Chanel Les Exclusives. I can appreciate that. The thing is, with the Chanel Les Exclusives, I can tell you that they're good quality, right? I can tell you that they're good quality, but I can also tell you that I don't like them. With LV fragrances, they're not good quality, and I don't like them. You know, Cavalier is amazing though. He used to make brilliant stuff. M7, he worked on M7, one of my favourite fragrances. He made Opium Pour Homme. Amazing. Amazing fragrances. Some of the very best. He's made brilliant fragrances. What he has made is he's made the fragrances to LV spec. He's made them exactly as LV want them. And the fact of the matter is, LV are telling you that they're good perfumes. Cavalier to Dior and MFK to LV is the move. I mean, possibly. Would be best for both brands. Possibly. Anybody but Kirk John, because the stuff he's done at Dior has been fucking lamentable. Like, they're awful. I say this as somebody who Dior, who was I telling? Who was I telling yesterday? It was yesterday, right? Dior used to rival Serge Lutton for my favourite brand. I have at least 15 different Dior fragrances. Different Dior fragrances, not including backups. Duncan says he's selling Pavarotti. I'm quite surprised, but not to worry. Sebastian in shambles. I mean, it's his money. He can spend his money on what he can say what he wants about it. But the thing is, I don't hear anybody else saying what I'm saying, and yet to me, it's self-evident. It's empirically justified. I see it. It's coherent. When I say this, it's coherent. The only thing I get back from people who resist this is like this dissonance in their mind. They can't believe what they're hearing because nobody's ever said it before, but it makes sense. It's like it's madness. You know? We're having the piss taken out of it. I've been saying this for ages. How long have I been buying vintage fragrances for? Years and years. Since like at least 2017, 2018, when Dior reformulated the Privé line and something went off in my head and I was like, fuck. This is what they can do. They can take your favorite fragrances and just change them and call them the same thing. People will be like, oh, it's changed a little bit. But I don't care. I get used to it. I'll get used to the changes. But it's those little incremental changes over the years, selling different fragrances, because as soon as they change the fragrance, it's not the same, right? It's not the same. They sell you them under the same name. I will never, ever, ever forget. And I will never forgive Francois Demachy for this. Everybody's like joking on, bring back Demachy to Dior. I will never forgive Francois Demachy for when they reformulated Bois d'Argent in 2018, claimed it was a new fragrance and said he was the perfumer. That is scandalous. That is a flagrant act of plagiarism. It's outrageous. It's scandalous. And I have no doubt whatsoever that came at the behest of LV, who own Dior. It's counterfeit, it's fraud. It's fraud, and people fucking lap it up. And then there's fucking Kirkjohn, who's come in 2022 to 23 and reformulated it again, and now it's whisperingly quiet. You can barely smell it, man. It's scandalous. Let's get back to the chat. I found a vintage Egoist splash coming from Italy. Odds on it being off and turned to vinegar? Not high. I've had quite a few. Egoist vintages, and I think that the very nature of the way the fragrance is, the materials used and its scent profile, it stands up to time very well, actually. Rich, you are vintage. I certainly feel it. 2007 and 2008, Dior and Tom Ford was peak upper tier design of some of the greatest frags ever released, in my opinion. I mean, you look at those original 3 Dior Privés. Bois d'Argent's one of the best fragrances of the century, by far. By far. It really is. I wore it yesterday, and it's fucking incredible. Even the first reformulation, so not even the 2012, not even the 2004 version, the 2010 to 2017 version is brilliant as well. That's the one I wore yesterday. It's magnificent. Nobody will dislike that fragrance. People who dislike that fragrance are just fuck knows. Right? I don't even know. I can't even. I just fuck off. Tom Ford at that time completely changed perfume with that lineup. All of his perfumes, everything he did turned to gold until about 2015 or 16 when he started releasing ridiculously named shit perfumes. That green line he did was probably the last great collection that he put out. Welcome, CK. How are you? It is very nice to see you, mate. It has been a while. I'm fucking glad to see you. Dior Corn Syrup Elixir will be the best release of 2026. Mark my words. 2006 Eldo released their original lineup, didn't they? Eldo's a great brand. Again, don't like all their stuff, but it's really interesting, good quality, well made, interesting. Parfum d'Empire, as DJ says, brilliant brand, fantastic. Welcome, Alicia. How are you? Fragrances will be quiet from now on in the US. Quiet luxury is the new thing. Yes, quiet luxury. That'll be an excuse for them to do something, you know. That'll be an excuse for them to do something mental. Like, fucking make everything shit. You know? Put less oil in, but charge you twice the price. Where am I? Sorry, I'm a bit lost. I feel patronised. I feel patronised as a consumer. You know? Like, perfumes are shit. The thing is, right, consumers, we have got to take some of the blame for this. And the reason for that is, right, how over the last 10 years, maybe even longer, right, have you heard people online saying, how long does it last? Is it strong? That's what people are asking for. People want strong perfume. They want perfume to last a long time. So they're wanting to get what they consider their money's worth. They're not asking for perfumes that are well made. Lily says there's no life in the main fragrance industry and it's trickled down into niche. Beast mode, yeah, beast mode. Yes, yes, if you would like to like the stream, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. What else? I mean, was Frederick Moore the last great bastion of of artistic freedom in perfumery? Is it? I mean, the thing is with Les and Demodable, I love Les and Demodable. I love loads of their scents. I've bought all the fragrances I've got by them, and I've got like 11, right? And the thing with Les and Demodable is, right, I feel like a lot of their perfumes, if not all of them, are made to highlight their ingredients business. They're very fixated on their ingredients, which is fine. It's good. And each part of the shtick, part of the brand is that they feature 2 notes or a note in each perfume. Then another part of the brand is that they also supply oils to other companies. Patchouli Noisette features a patchouli that they have sourced themselves with the materials, all that good stuff, right? If you smell Jubilation 40, they use Remy's patchouli in that fragrance. You can smell it. You can smell it. I mean, just use your own nose. Believe the evidence of your own senses. You know? It's there. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. So that is one of those things. What's the next Les and Demodable? Immortel. Immortel is the next Les and Demodable. Rolex is about social status, and some of us have social lives, says Sam Toronto. Rolex is about social status. They've made the brand about that, you know? But a lot of watch brands, to survive the quartz crisis, had to make their brands about social status. The quartz crisis destroyed brands all across the watch industry. You know, lots of them nearly didn't survive. AP nearly went under. Patek nearly went under. Breguet did go under, I think. Rolex really struggled. They had to release the Oyster Quartz. And what they had to do is they had to pivot to make their watches, their mechanical watches, right? They had to change them, change the perception of them to make them into men's jewelry, essentially, and make it about social status. At this point, perfumers should just open their own brands. I wouldn't care. Every perfumer's own brand I've smelled has been the drizzling shits. Fucking, what's he called? Marias's one is shit. Marias's one, Mise en Cire. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Is it Michel Almarac that does Parle-moi Parfum? I've got one of them. The other ones, they're not great. They're not great at all. Perfumers who are professional perfumers who then open their own brands. I can't think of one that's been brilliant. You know? Can't think of one that's been great. An unrivaled success. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. I love Nautilus. It's a perfect watch, but fuck, it is unbelievably expensive. That is so that people will know that it's unbelievably expensive. You're not spending £50,000 on a timepiece when you could just look at your clock. You're doing that so you can say something without having to actually say it out loud. Did Antoine have a brand? No. Antoine Lee's was trash. It was Mike V that said that. Except Tower. Tower wasn't a perfumer before he started making perfumes, though. Like, Tower wasn't a perfumer that made perfumes for years and then started his own brand. The reason that these perfumers' houses are shit is because they've always worked to someone else's brief. Like, if they just go out and then they're like, right, you can make any perfume, but they haven't got anybody to bounce ideas off. That's why the idea of this kind of like a Frederick Malle type person who is like the creative director, which we've now found out recently that that's what Francis Kirkjohn does at Dior. He's the creative director. He starts a perfume off, right? Puts it to the people who make the decisions about such things. They're like, oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. And then he takes it and gives it to a woman called Maya. I can't remember her last name. And she does the work. She finishes it off. Fucking Charlatan gets paid 20 million quid a year, allegedly. Tom Ford Noir Extreme needs more power. It's going to be perfect. Why did Cole go back and forth between his accounts? Yeah, I noticed that, Cole. What are you doing? Let's be honest, no one buys a Rolex solely because it looks nice. They buy it because it's expensive and to brag. Else they wouldn't have gotten it in the first place. That's exactly what it was. And then it gets macheted off in London. Fortunately, I don't live in London. London's a shithole. Sorry, DJ, I know it's where you live. I have too much going on, Lily says, Carl. I meant Eris Parfums. He did all the frags. I thought he was part of the brand as well. He's not, actually. So the perfumers aren't artists. No, I wouldn't say that that's true. I would say that they probably are artists. It's just, if you look at artists throughout history, they always got commissions. He has two phones. He's got double lives, says Lily. Perfumers are tools to be used by the creative. That's the whole brand, Mike V. The director plays a big part of it. Well, the director is the brand. She could hire a different perfumer if she wanted to. Like Eugene. Like Antoine Lee is the perfumer, you know, but Eugene is the owner and the creative director. Like Roger Dove. Roger Dove is the owner and creative director. Well, he used to be before he sold it. But he's not the perfumer and never was. Some are creative in their own regards, others not so much. Does Tom Ford have a Tom Ford Ard? A dark mossy leather ambery base? Yeah, you used to be able to tell a Tom Ford perfume. You used to be able to tell a Tom Ford perfume. Now, they're all over the fucking place. The Tom Ford aesthetic is dead. And frankly, it's been dead. I mean, it died maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Tom Ford was big for about 10 years. But that's the same with all designers. And they are massive for a little while, and then someone else comes along and totally steals the thunder and just moves on. That's the nature of fashion. I've said this many times before. Fashion is an industry of self-loathing. It hates itself so much that it has to change 4 times a year. I would not like to be working in fashion circles. I think a lot of people go into it with dreams and hopes and expectations, and I think they're crushed emphatically by it. And the people who survive, I don't even know. Hi Mitch, did you like the new Hermes? I haven't tried it yet. I agree, entire sample set was a big mess, says Mike. Eugene's new perfume will be called Eugenius. Doubtful. They might not even consider Antoine Lee as the in-house perfumer for Les Abstrait. Tom Ford Black Violet has a gorgeous oak moss base with a dark, inky, sweet violet mid. Hello, Lilith. Yeah, there are some brands out there like Tower, like James Healy, Eldo, that are really worth looking into. I mean, Filippo Sorcinelli's up there as well. They're really, 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 really good, and they make perfumes at really, really, really good prices too. You know? And they're worth... And no fucker, none of the big channels, not even out the goodness of their heart, give them any exposure whatsoever. Because they haven't paid for the exposure. It's outrageous. The only fucking influencer I can think who would do such a thing would be Sebastian. He's the only one who I would have any kind of... I would hold out any kind of hope of talking about a house like Tower, like James Healy, like Eldo, like the fucking other one I was talking about. Because I think he genuinely loves his perfumes. The other ones are all dead eyes. Enamel and boob meat, as Houdini put it. I wish I stumbled on Richard Ramsey 5 years ago. Serge Guerlain, vintage, apart from Demolian shit is collecting dust. Sell, sell, sell. Often licked says, I agree, Sebastian is the only big YouTuber I watch. Roberto Greco has an interesting vision. Yeah? The problem is he only makes 500 of each perfume and then they're fucking gone. It's a very interesting brand. You know? No one... Who the fuck talks about Serge Luton anymore? Nobody talks about... You go back and watch videos. I wish there was a filter that you could just put, right, Fragcomm videos from 10 years and older. You go back and watch them. They're all a buzz of fucking Serge Luton and Comme des Garçons and fucking Andy Tower, right? Eldo, Creed a lot of the time, but Creed was a good brand back then. When they weren't being incentivized with money. Where has Anuj been, says Mike. I think he was on holiday for a month, wasn't he? His website was getting rebuilt as well. I haven't spoken to him for quite a while, so I was talking to somebody else about this. I think it was Mitra K. I was talking to Mitra K about it. I was like, oh, fuck, I haven't spoken to Anuj for a while. I need to just say hello. How are you, really? You know? Oh, God. I have been venting. Influencers don't even talk about Cartier now. No, that's right. No, Cartier seems to have gone by the wayside. The scent bubble. How are you? I need to hear about that fat electrician. How is it? Well, let me tell you about Fat Electrician. I should review Fat Electrician. Oh, no. Ah. Yes, please check out James Healy. For God's sake, get the sample set. You find something you like. Stuff in there to improve your collection. Okay, Fat Electrician is a vetiver perfume at its heart. As it says, semi-modern vetiver. Okay. It is. So what I need to do is I need to bring this perfume in as well. Vetiver Tonka. Now, these aren't necessarily the same, but what they do have is that they mix vetiver with a savoury, nutty kind of aspect, and it works. It just works brilliantly. It works perfectly. You know? They just work together. I would love to smell Les Indomables make a vetiver fragrance, right, with their noisette as well, and pair them up and see how it goes. So in this, there is something called marron glace. It is, I think it's a hazelnut with like a sugary glaze over the top of it. And once you've heard that, you can't unsmell it. It's definitely there. It's got this creamy, slightly sweet, savoury, green, clean vibe. It's so good. It's so good. Marron is a chestnut, excuse me. It is a chestnut, not a hazelnut. I'm sure that's akin to some kind of racist accusation in the nut community. Right, this is my favourite from Aldo. This is my favourite from Aldo. Really nice and quirky. Marron glace is frosted chestnut. Is it similar to Caron's Amé Moi Comme Je Suis? Pass. I'm familiar with all the Lalique vetiver-based frags, vetiver Sensual Grey, vetiver Guerlain's, Rogers, Hermes. Where does it fare amongst those in terms of vetiver profile? Oh, Christ, that's a question. They are much more... So they are much more kind of typical vetivers. Even this is a more kind of typical vetiver. It's green. It's fresh. It's classy. It's got this kind of zestiness to it that has a smartness. This is so creamy and I don't want to say laid back. It's not. It's chill. It's inviting. It's warm. It's a little sweet. It's different. It's almost gourmand. Someone said there before, it's almost gourmand. It's less smoky. Often licked is absolutely right. It's beautiful. Hello, Sandra. There was a 200ml Agar Ebony for €170 on Parfumo. Is it still there? That is outrageous. I mean, Fat Electrician does have some sort of hot electronics note to it. If I let the association with the name run wild. No. Oh, fucking hell. Hold on a second. Stop that. I've never, ever, ever thought that. And as soon as you've said it. So, yeah. Sort of, yes. Stop that. It does have a sort of hot electronics vibe to it, you're right. which is quite interesting, because I never would have said that before you said that. Oh, wow, I got to get it. Thank you for breaking that down. No problem. Don't just buy it blind. Get a sample. Get a sample first. You might not like it. Igor Ebony is still there on Parfumo. That is outrageous. Dura Rose will shit a brick. He fucking loves that stuff. I'll send him this. Hold on. Where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is he? There he is. Thank you, Spaced Out. Hold up. Let's go to Souk. I don't check the Souk, but there's nothing I'm looking for. You know, for what it's worth, I got my Fat Electrician 100ml for €73 shipped. Bargain. Where from? Where from? By the way, I have got a playlist of the Eldo sample set that I got, you know. Fuck's sake, come on. So there are two. Josh Hell. Jesus. So that's 180ml. I don't know if he'll buy that because it's not sealed. We'll see. Thank you for telling us. Josh Hell from Austria. Someone is offering samples. 1.8 mil. Just make it a 2 mil for God's sake. Rich, what do you goopy perfumes? Define goopy. It's like dark fragrances. It's very open to interpretation. It's like Vetiver soft serve. Oh, well, I'm going to get it. Igor Ebony is still there. What are your top 3 mall, says Radon Run? Oh, I'd have to sit and consider that. That would have to be a fucking something I had to spend time thinking about. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to answer that at the minute. For what it's worth, I got my Fat Electrician. Sorry, that was a deal on Notino. I haven't been on Notino in years. I used to go on every week. And just check stuff out. Gucci Guilty Absolute. Getting fucking 150ml bottles for 50 quid. Vetiver's my favourite accord. I've got to have this amongst my Vetiver lineup, says the scent bubble. Oh, well, I will never ever tell you or advise you to blind buy. Jesus, you've got a channel. Outrageous. I will subscribe to your channel. I will investigate. Excuse me. There are many Vetivers. Have I done a top 10 Vetiver perfumes? Look, if you're interested in Vetivers, one of my very favourites is the Les Indomptables one whose name escapes me. Escal en Haiti. Escal en Haiti. Not great performance, but absolutely incredible scent. In fact, that reminds me, I have decided to sell my... Where the fuck have I put it? Where have I put it? Oh, there it is, right in front of us. Decided to sell my Vetiver Extraordinaire. I imagine you already have that, scent bubble. Vetiver is my favourite, of course, sir. You get the Eldo Discovery set, as a matter of fact. It's €45 for 20 times 2 ml samples. Exactly. Thoughts on Etro Vetiver? Great. dark and smoky. A little difficult. I think I'm going to sell mine. I don't mind Eldos, you or someone like you. For what it's worth, I got my... read that. Any indie frags you would recommend? No. Any favourite Beau de Sears? Thoughts on the brand? Wildly overpriced, incredibly shit value, and not great perfumes either. They're not very good perfumes, I'm sorry. They're just not. Beau de Sears is another one of those fragrance houses that for some reason everybody seems to think they're fantastic, but they are in fact shit. And the prices are disgraceful. Ter and Grey Vetiver for spring. Best stuff ever. Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum is one of the great Vetivers. It is a proper Tom Ford. It's absolutely immense. Even though it smells nothing like the other Tom Fords, you can tell it's a Tom Ford as soon as you smell it. That brand was absolute fire. That was another brand that got talked about all the time in the community before everybody started talking about Middle Eastern fragrances because they were being paid to do so. That's why loads of them spend time in fucking Dubai, man, so they can meet rich Arabs and fucking get their fucking palms greased. You know? I'm afraid to say. It's not to say that there aren't Arabs who could make incredible perfumes, because they could. They just don't. Tom Ford has a sharp, high quality, no bullshit aesthetic. Used to. Doesn't anymore. Especially when he was in charge. Thoughts on vintage Passage d'un Fer? Pass. Don't know it. Hello, Metro K. What a day, says Metro K. Do you have cologne indelible? Used to, sold it. Really good. Don't wear it anymore. Never wore it for ages, so sold it. It's really good, though. I got it for next to nothing. I think I paid like £100 for a full bottle. What a day, Metro K arrives. Hello, Nina. I don't mind Eldos, you or someone like you. I don't think the scent bubble is here anymore. I did say for him to try Escal en Haiti. Fat Electrician is sweeter, creamier, less rooty and less smoky. For some reason I don't like a smoky vetiver. It's very strange. I like smoke and I like vetiver, but I don't like smoky vetiver. Strange. Two rights can make a wrong. It's like two even numbers adding up to an odd number. It shouldn't be possible. Oof, I've got an itchy chin. Basically, this entire stream's been a bloody rant, hasn't it? I have ranted and ranted and ranted, but there's plenty to rant about. This community is basically not a community anymore. The fragrances themselves are absolutely on their arse. It's not even that I want to go back to the way it was. I just want it to be less shit, frankly. I want to be able to smell good perfumes. I want there to be more good perfumes, which are at a premium. Well, I mean, I said they're at a premium. They're not even at a premium. They're not just not being made. They're just not being made at all. And there's ever decreasing amounts of people who feel the same way. And it's almost like you're being gaslit by proxy. Everyone's like, oh, well, the money shows that that's not, that the money shows that you're wrong, or the views show that you're wrong, which is where people buying subscribers comments and likes comes in, completely destroying the ecosystem. It's an ecological disaster for a community, that. Loads of these people buying likes, buying subs, buying things. And then you've got the people who don't necessarily buy likes and subscribers and comments, but what they do is they play to the algorithm, right? So really what they're doing is they're harvesting engagement. They're harvesting things, and it's like there is no... I mean, there's no honor and glory in that whatsoever, but there is money in it, you know? And that is just what people are more concerned about. But I tell you what, right? People can have all the money that they can afford, because to get money, you have to give something, right? And it will profit you nothing to sell your soul for the whole world. But for clones, for Armoff, for Dua, for likes, for Zerjoffs, you've sold your soul. It's mental. To me, that it's absolutely mental. Like, I remember saying to the fucking Les Odorants when I went on the episode, I was like, I'd said something to them at some point that I wouldn't shell for a brand for like £1 million, and they were like, yeah, of course you would. That's a silly thing to say. And I'm like, I'm deadly serious. Like, at this point, it's a point of principle, and people have died for principles before. So £1 million isn't really that much of a like a sacrifice, really. Do you know what I mean? People have died for a lot less, a lot more as well. So it's like, at this point, it's about making a point, like, and be done. It's like a proof of concept. Because like this, you cannot go on. It will collapse under its own weight. You know? It will collapse under its own weight. We have contrived to, I would say, shoot ourselves in the foot. But it's like we've shot ourselves in the balls. You know? No one does anything for fun anymore. It's a... I mean, the people I interact with on here, the people watching, the people talking in the chat, the few channels that are still watching, comment on, I still enjoy them, but it feels like we're becoming more and more isolated and more irrelevant, and there is no appetite for what we do, what we think, what we want, you know? And the problem is that it's becoming a feedback loop. It's becoming... I don't know. I don't know if I want to say what I want to say. Any channel recommendations? honestly, it depends what for. It depends what for. I mean, really, the real answer to that should be go out, investigate, and find the content that you agree with, that you like. That's what I did. Because if I recommend something to you, right, and you don't like it, but I do like it, then that's all that's kind of happening there. And the problem is that even recommending things now has become bastardized by the people who do it for money. So if I recommend a fragrance now, right? Say if I say, I love this, I think you should try it, right? Instantly, the association in people's minds is why? It's not, all right, I'll try it, I'll go and sample it. It might be interesting, it might be good. People are going to be like, oh, you must have money involved. Instantly. The cynicism. We're being demoralized, We've been completely demoralized. And I don't just mean that as in like your spirits are low, like you're feeling down. I mean that people have become desensitized so much to shit that it doesn't bother them anymore. That was like part of the problem I had when I talked to other people about this. Like I talk to Houdini, I love Houdini, I talk to Houdini nearly every day. But he disagrees. He's like, well, you should be able to get free stuff for stuff, and you should be able to do that. I'm like, people have been so desensitized to the fact that once you introduce that reward system in, right, that person is then not giving you their real opinion. That it takes away from some of the fidelity of that opinion, because they are put at a positive disposition. I was never a fan, but was Red Lessons? No, Red Lessons is wearing blue contacts because he's fucking gone off the deep end. It's a midlife crisis like I've never seen. It's fucking incredible. Oh, that's sweet slang. I'm sure that you is Julia Roberts, says Eugene. My husband told me the other day that Richard Gere and Pretty Woman looked like you. It just sounded like you were doing a Shakespearean speech. You'll outlast the masses. You don't like blue eyes. Well, I mean, I've got blue eyes, but mine are real. I can't imagine being like I don't want to say a public figure, but somebody whose appearance is common in a certain aspect of like somewhere out there, like you're known in a community, and then one day you rock up with different coloured eyes. Fucking what? There's some serious self-loathing going on, but apparently he's really, 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 really short. So maybe that's, I mean, just try and accept yourself a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Fuck. That is wild to me. Fucking hell. Are you Dean putting in blue contacts, you fucking mad bastard? Blue contacts, clone eyes. Coloured contacts are diabolical, says system error. Welcome system error. Jared, I'm not reading that out. I hate the t-shirt and blazer with a dumbass feather necklace. I don't know what that means. Fucking short men are a menace, like. I'm Tom Cruise short. I'm going to go for the blue contacts when I turn 30. Carl, I thought you were quite tall. Aren't you Swedish or something? What do you mean you fucking Tom Cruise short? Welcome, charming man. How are you? Welcome seldomly often, too. I saw you. I was just ranting at the time. I think Seldomly often said, I've come in at the right time for the rant. Mate, you could have been listening for the last 2 hours. This entire stream has been me ranting. Where's the short cut-off line? Average height. Average height is the short cut-off line. If you're below average height, you're short. Fortunately, I am 6'2", so I'm not familiar with such problems. I have problems of my own. All short men are a menace. We love our short kings, says System Error. Carl, I thought you were in your 30s. Time for skincare, says Aaron. Trade your height for muscles, Carl, says Eugene. Yes, he is a midget, says Mitra She's seen Redolescence in person. I'm actually like Tom Cruise in height. That is outrageous. Short for men, 5'4", says Lily. Be right back, buying blue contacts, says Mitra K. That is a fucking bonkers. Bonkers. You're 6'2", Rich, says Jared. Yes, if I wasn't 6'2", I would be fucking fat as fuck. I'd look like a beach ball. I don't need those blue contacts after all, says Moose. Well, you just labelled most of Asia as midgets, says Aaron. Oh dear. Do I feel better after this? Well, the thing is, nothing's changed and nothing is changing, you know? So, I'm not just saying it so I can get my angst out. The thing is, when I put this to people outside of this space, I never hear any good arguments against what I'm saying. You know? There's the only argument people can possibly make, which they never do, the only argument that can be made against it is that people are making money out of it. And it's the only thing it's got going for it. But people then know that that's a cynical argument to make because you're paying for it. The customer is paying for it, right? And everyone's like, yeah, of course, but that's how people have been, like, people have been brainwashed into being that way, you know? Like, as if it's a good thing. Like, people standing up for billionaires. Well, what's wrong with doing well? It's like, mate, honestly, like these people aren't doing well. You don't get that kind of wealth by doing well, you know? Fucking mental. Angle. Here's our camera angle. Working Kitchen says, speaking about it as positive because it opens the conversation. The change comes further along, but it's a start, says Working Kitchen. Yeah, hopefully there's some kind of pushback for it, against it, sorry. Some sort of pushback against it. I think the best thing, or the thing to do, is to try and develop new community away from the one that we're already in. And nurture our own sort of thing and not try and change that sort of thing. Just try and keep it out as much as possible. But the thing is that you spend a lot of time nurturing that community and building it and changing it. And then it's very easy for someone to just sweep in and just take the fucking thing. Take it over and take away people from that, you know. But I think the educating of people, and I think actually what could happen in the next 5 to 10 years is a backlash against influencers. You know, because there is none. By the way, the earth is flat, says Mitra K. So are my boobs, says Lily. Lily, we know this to be a lie. We have seen your profile picture. What game? I don't play games. I will nurture Indian bots. Fucking the insecurity of people, the desperation. I don't even know how people could ever work themselves into that state where they think to themselves, right, I need to fake it till I make it. I need to be fake. Being fake is a positive. De-influencing has already become a trendy word, says Sister Meryl. That's nice to know. I don't want it to be trendy, though. I want it to have, like, some kind of actual meaning, you know? I don't want it to be trendy. Trendy implies that it's going to come and go, you know? Which isn't... It's not great, that. I don't want it to come and go. I want it to come and stay. There's some kind of authenticity, you know? What'll happen is, right, somebody will capitalise on it. Somebody will capitalise on the authenticity sort of thing, and then they'll come to profit, because that's what happens when you capitalise, you come to profit, you know? So really what'll happen is they'll just hijack that system, and they will become what they claim to hate, you know, which is something that terrifies me, which is why I'm so fucking staunch, because I think even if you give a little bit, right, then then it's gone, you know. If you give even a little bit, it's gone. I've just got about 10 fucking notifications there. Call the hotline, Eugene. We'll get it sorted, Lily. I need my ducts cleared. I'm your biggest bot from India, says Lily. Got a big bot, have you? Okay. That was a rant. Me and Eugene should be doing a top 10 should be doing a top 10 dark scents on Friday, health permitting. So hopefully I don't turn to shit after taking poison tomorrow night. The Working Kitchen says, the YouTube algorithm doesn't care about beast mode, panty droppers, or shelling. It's a computer. It's not a computer, it's software. It's the difference between the Terminator and Skynet. We can shift it by boycotting, disliking vids, etc. Do you know, I hate to say this, but I do hope people go out there and dislike the videos of these people who are shitting in your hands and asking you to take money, who are laughing at you, as they take your money. And shitting in your hands and telling you that it smells good, doesn't it? Anyway, I may do... Oh, fucking hell, I'm not sure I should, actually. Not this week. I may do the other 4 Argos samples at some point in the next week. They're so bad. Oh, fuck me dead. They are so poor. They are so poor. Those 4 I tried the other day, I was trying so hard to give them a good chance and be fair. But it's going to have to be, you tune in for the final impressions video. That's where I'm going to crystallize what I'm talking about, really. Disliking counts as engagement, which promotes the content, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. It doesn't tell you. They don't tell you what the algorithm is or does, you know? Perfumer, shite and short man or a menace are the lessons for this stream, says Carl. Pretty fucking much. I don't think the dislike button does anything, says Sister Mara. Well, at least when they look at their fucking analytics, they'll see that people think they're fucking dickheads. Disliking makes it not come up as often on your feed, so that's a win. Yes! On that positive note, friends. Oh, no, Moose, I'll give you this. I still think the worst thing that happened to Fragcomm is... He was the opening of the dam, yeah. Proof of concept, like I was talking about my theory earlier. You know, don't read it, says Moose. I just think he needs help. Like, on a personal level, like, if I'm being deadly serious, he needs... I don't know whether it's shtick. I keep going back and forwards between mental health problems, drug addiction, drug use, and shtick, you know? But, that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for sticking around while I ranted. And I will see you all again soon.